What's going on, guys? Big Sean here. Well, as you can tell, I'm out walking again, and I've decided that I'm going to try to do this more often with some of my videos. Is just try to get out and take you guys out on a walk with me and discuss whatever topic I have planned for that particular video. I'm not going to do this for every video, but I'm going to try to do it often. So, anyway, let's get to the topic of this video. I want to talk a little bit about the first round last night of the 2010 NFL Draft. It was pretty much like I expected. I expected there to be a lot of defensive players drafted and a lot of offensive linemen. And I wasn't really surprised when Sam Bradford was drafted overall by the St. Louis Rams. I mean, that's a franchise that, you basically need anything that you can get your hands on, and you got to start somewhere, right? I was surprised, as I'm sure a lot of us were, with Tebow getting drafted by the Denver Broncos with the 25th pick. I'm not saying Tebow's a bad quarterback, but I just don't know if he has what it takes to be an NFL quarterback, but I'll get to that in a minute. And one thing that I was surprised on, and of course you're all expecting me to say this, but I'm a Notre Dame fan, I have to say it. I was really surprised that Jimmy Clausen didn't go in the first round. I was really surprised that the Buffalo Bills passed up on him, and the San Francisco 49ers for that matter. I'm not saying that Jimmy's the best quarterback out there, but the kid does have some talent. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Notre Dame fan. I'm saying it because it's true. The kid has some talent to go places, and but then again, he's in the same category as anyone else. Is he NFL caliber? But other than that, really wasn't surprised with how the draft went. Basically the top 5 was pretty much as they were expecting it to be. That Sue from Nebraska going to the Lions. Gerald McCoy, he went to Tampa, I believe. So the top 5 were pretty much as expected by the ESPN and Yahoo, Mel Kiper, etc. Now, another thing with the NFL Draft, and this is just strictly my opinion, obviously when a player gets drafted in the first round, that does say a lot about him as a player. I mean, that obviously means that there were a lot of teams that really wanted him, and simply that he was the pick of the litter, Basically, it's just a matter in the draft of what the team's biggest need is. I mean, come on, as we all know, Tom Brady. I mean, I know this gets talked about a lot, but it's true. I mean, when Tom Brady was drafted, he was drafted out of Michigan with the 199th pick. And look what he's accomplished in his career. His career to this point has been phenomenal. And also with basically with the draft, any pick, whether it's first round or 7th round, you never know what these guys are going to do. So just because players go in the later round doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad players. I mean, come on. Look at guys like Ryan Leaf, Matt Leinart. I guess you could even put Brian Bosworth on that list. They were all first-round picks, and look at what they've done. I mean, Leaf was a complete flop. Bosworth, not really a flop, but he didn't really do much. And look at Leinart. What has Leinart really done? I mean, he hasn't done squat. Okay, guys, the rain has started to fall in the middle of my walk here, so I didn't want to risk ruining the camera, so I came here to the shelter in the park. But one other thing that I had to say in regards to the draft, well, not really the draft itself, but more towards NFL rookies in general. Now, every year we see this, well, just about every year. There's always some high-profile college player that decides to hold out on the team that he got drafted by for a big contract. I mean, let's see, Michael Crabtree did it last year, Jamarcus Russell did it, and even back in the day, Cedric Benson did it too. And as much as I hate to say it, Brady Quinn did it also. Now, I don't know if it's the players making these decisions themselves or if it's their agents. Maybe it's a combination of both. But all this holdout shit is bullcrap. Okay? First off, I don't care who the player is, what college he played for, or how well he did in college. The NFL is a completely different level, and these guys should prove themselves that they can be in the NFL and be worthy of making those millions of dollars. So this is what I think the NFL needs to enforce. All rookies make no more than league minimum in their first season. And it doesn't matter what team they play for. I mean, like let's say the team that drafted them decides to trade them. Well, it doesn't matter. Whatever team they play for, they make no more than league minimum. And whatever their role is, whether they're thrown into a starting role right away or if they're a bench player, whatever, they play their role to the best of their ability. Then after that first season, then they can negotiate for the big-time contracts. Because, like I said, that's just bullshit when guys hold out. I mean, okay, you could have been a complete stud in college, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be a stud in the NFL. I mean, you earn your money in the NFL, and you show that you're worthy of it. Perfect example. Now I know I'm a Bears fan, but I got to give credit where credit is due. Tony Romo is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Okay, he was undrafted, but undrafted, drafted doesn't matter. He was still a rookie. His rookie season with the Cowboys, he was the backup to Drew Bledsoe, and he was making league minimum, which I think was like $500,000, something like that. But he was making league minimum, playing off the bench behind Bledsoe, and then I forget what season it was. I think it was the 05-06 season or the 06-07. I'm not sure. But the year when the Cowboys lost to Seattle in the playoffs. Okay, Cowboys are struggling with under Bledsoe, so they bring in Tony Romo to start, and he basically saved their season. Okay, he got them to a 9-7 record and got them to the playoffs. Now, yes, he botched the snap on the field goal that would have won them the game against Seattle in the first round, but still, nonetheless, he got them to the playoffs. He gave them a chance to get to a Super Bowl. That's what it's all about, right? Getting to the playoffs, having a chance to win a Super Bowl. So, despite that, Tony was named the starter the next year, and then about halfway through the season, Jerry Jones liked what he was doing and said, "All right, Tony, we're going to give you a multi-year contract worth $35 million, something like that. I don't know. It was a pretty nice contract. But the point that I'm trying to make here is Tony Romo earned that contract. He did it the right way. You know, he made the league minimum, started off making the league minimum, and he earned his way up. And that's what all players should do. Okay, guys, I have one last thing to say, and then I'm going to wrap this video up. Now, being a person who makes Notre Dame football videos, it's only obvious I'm going to want to share those videos with other Notre Dame football fans. And the big part in doing that has been posting my Notre Dame videos on Notre Dame message boards. And currently at the moment, I am a member of 4 different Notre Dame message boards where I post my videos, so on and so forth. As you guys all know, on football message boards, there's the section that's for football, and then there's a section called the open forum where basically you can talk about whatever you want to. As you guys know, I just got done with the hometown series where I took you guys in and gave you a tour of my hometown and all that. The postseason wrap-up video, with the part where I go on and on about the baseball coach from my high school days, basically what that was for is just to express my opinions mainly to any of my old classmates and friends from here in Geneseo. I mean, I didn't expect any of you guys to, really care about that situation or know who I was even talking about. On one of the Notre Dame message boards I'm a part of, there's one particular user. Now, I'm not going to say what site it is or what this guy's screen name is, but I'll just call him Mr. Dreadlocks. This guy on this particular message board has been on my ass nonstop on every post I've left or thread that I've started, coming in, making smart-ass comments. Now, granted, maybe I'm a little too touchy and taking things the wrong way, but I know asshole when I see it. Every fan base is going to have its fair share of assholes, and unfortunately I ran into one of them in the Notre Dame fan base. Basically, he left me a smart-ass comment saying that, well, Sean, you seem awfully bitter about getting cut there. I mean, maybe, you need to realize that talent always wins out, and why would a coach want to waste a bench spot on a senior, blah, 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 blah. Get over it, man. You probably just didn't have the talent to, probably didn't have what it takes to be a baseball player. Well, it is true. I mean, obviously I'm not playing in the major leagues. I'm probably never going to play again because I hurt my arm last year. But let me tell you something, Mr. Dreadlocks. I know smartasses when I see them. Okay, it doesn't take a college degree to figure that part out. I'm not as dumb as you think I am. Well, put it this way. You've got my attention. I want to ask you something, Mr. Dreadlocks. Were you there? Did you see me play? Have you ever seen me play? The answer would be no. So how the fuck would you know if I had the talent or not to make it? But, Mr. Dreadlocks, I'll say this. If you don't like any of the videos that I post or any of the threads that I make in regards to whatever topic, don't comment on them. Okay? Your bullshit mind games and your smart-ass comments are getting old. Now, if you have something to say to me that's insulting, cam up and let's see your face. And tell, because let's face it, I'm not going to go all the way down to Florida to find you or to confront you. So, either shut up or cam up. That's all I have to say. So with that, guys, this is Big Sean. Catch you all later.